Three of the worst businesses you can start today from a millionaire businessman. Second, an independent restaurant.
If you go and look at businesses for sale on any website, 90% of it, cafe and restaurants. What does that tell you?
I don't buy gifts for my kids. I'll say things like, hey daddy, can we get that Lego? That Lego is 10 bucks. Hey daddy, can we get that video game? That video game is 20 bucks.
Toys and crap for your kids gets used for a short amount of time and it just gets thrown out.
The top 5 most profitable businesses to start in 2025. Online courses.
It's a saturated space again.
Once the course is built, you can sell that course for years after.
Tony Robbins is still selling his first DVD on self-improvement. That's insane. Build it once, sell it forever.
Time to get fired up. Yeah, I'm getting fired up.
Your thoughts can become plans, plans can become actions, and actions become a reality. We share powerful stories and simple steps to fast track your business and personal growth. Are you ready to make it happen? Let's get fired up. Welcome back. In this episode, we're doing more reactions. You guys seem to love it, and to be honest, I love doing it as well. It's awesome to see other people's content and share point of view with it. So, got the first one here. Let's have a look.
What should I do to grow my business even more?
What do you sell?
Freeze-dried candy.
What part of the business is the hardest right now?
Selling it in general.
Do you have enough product?
Yes, way more than enough.
So I always ask myself this question. Where do the people that buy my kind of product hang out? Who is the perfect person to buy from you?
Children.
Yes. So where do they hang out?
Park.
Okay, but is there a specific park?
No, I don't know.
You don't know?
No.
I'm going to let you know a secret. If you call the city, they will tell you which is the busiest park that they have. And if I'm going to go spend some time at any park, it's that park.
I'm massive fan of Dan Martell. I love his stuff. What he's done really effectively here for the kid is ask the questions to get him to think about what his business actually could be or is and where his target market is at. So my take on that is if you cannot ask yourself the right questions, go and find someone to mentor you. Go find someone who's been there, done that, because they will ask you the right questions, which will get you to think about the right answers.
The top 5 most profitable businesses to start in 2025. Or if you want to hustle and start one right now, let's go. Number 5, a digital agency. A lot of companies outsource their social media and their digital advertising. It's more efficient for them to focus on the business and have somebody else do it.
So I think on that one, yes, it's a competitive space though, right? I mean, it's going to be hard to get the cut through. I probably get somewhere between 10 emails a day and 30 messages a day on social from people telling me that they can uplift my social media strategy and game. So I think it's a good business because everyone needs it. Everyone needs to be in the space, but be prepared for hard to cut through.
Number 4, bookkeeping and accounting for the gig workers. With the rise of the gig economy, you have a lot of freelancers. You have the opportunity to niche down for this sector. Net profit margin, 18.4%. Number 3, online courses. Now I know people have feelings about this category, but they have such big profit margins, I can't leave it off the list.
I think for online courses, because I'm such a massive advocate for self-development, is a great business, providing that you've got the right content for the right people at the right price. It's a saturated space again, so actually being able to prove that you've been there, done that, and offer someone something, generally for free to start off with, is good, so they can get the trust factor and know that what you're selling is legitimate and has got value, is a great option. Everybody needs to get better at something.
So you build out your course. Once the course is built, you can sell that course for years after. No inventory, profit margin through the roof.
Build it once, sell it forever. Tony Robbins is still selling his first DVD on self-improvement. That's insane. But guess what? Build it once, sell it forever. If you can think of a business model around that, that's good.
Drop shipping. Now this one also has somewhat of a bad rep, but I think this is a great opportunity. You create the brand, you market it, someone else manages and distributes the inventory. The expected gross for this sector, 20% by 2028.
Drop shipping, only my personal opinion here, but it's difficult, again, to get cut through. These retail products, the margin is shrinking on them all the time. And, you know, where are the big players? It's on Amazon and everything else like that. So you need to be in the fulfillment space where Amazon manages the customer service, the handling, the shipping, the returns. And you're going to pay some decent money to get them to do that for you. The other thing I might just add into this, if it's not drop shipping, you can actually be an affiliate. So someone selling a product, you can actually promote that through your social media and have a link in there. So when someone buys it, you get a commission. Then you have to worry about the product. You don't have to worry about the fulfillment. You just collect based on the fact that you're promoting it through your channels.
And number one is e-commerce. I know that's broad. This is any business where your product is sold online. They're easy to launch and don't take a ton of upfront capital investment, and is considered one of the most profitable industries.
I mean, what's not going to e-commerce, right? It's the whole retail experience is becoming really sloppy, and there's no stock on the shelves anyway. So we can pretty much get everything online now very quickly, exactly how we want it. That is going to be the future, and we're going to see retail shops close down more and more. Unfortunately, still need to get a haircut, right? Can't buy a haircut online, so still have to go to the barber to get that done. So there's some stuff that will not disappear from the physical interaction.
Hey, quick one. How many banks are there in Australia? 4. Well, 95, but pretty much everyone uses one of 4. Huh. How many supermarkets? 2 main companies? Insurance companies? 4 main ones? Airlines? Yeah. 3.5. Wait, half? Well, yeah, because Qantas owns Jetstar, so you can't really call that its own thing. And then there's Bonza, which is new and really small, and it doesn't fly into a lot of major cities, so call it 3.5.
I think we kind of all know this, right? There's not much choice when it comes to working through some of these providers, which sucks because it can just be monopolized and then you're stuck in the system. However, I do think as time is passing, more providers are coming out that are niche, that are offering online-only services, whether that be insurance or power. These big players are starting to be challenged and threatened by a smaller group of businesses that we're more comfortable to support as time goes forward. So, yeah, look at your alternatives. Don't have to go with the big boys anymore.
I don't buy gifts for my kids. If you ask my wife how many gifts I bought for my kids, I'm not a guy that buys gifts for my kids. I'll say things like, hey, daddy, can we get that Lego? That Lego is $10. Hey, daddy, can we get that video game? That video game is $20. My youngest son picked up Fountainhead by himself. He knows if they finish Fountainhead and a few other things. This guy's been working on this for 2 years. They're about to get their treehouse.
First of all, I mean, I love this. Like, toys and crap for your kids gets used for a short amount of time and it just gets thrown out. I'm a big fan on buying gifts of education or experience. My son just had his 10-year birthday in October. No gifts, but I took him to Japan. And what we got out of that is just so valuable in terms of culture, experience, one-on-one bonding, photos, memories that last a lifetime. And he's going to forget about Roblox by the time he turns 12, but he won't forget about Japan. So think about education and experience when it's coming to give things to people, I think is way better.
What is a treehouse if I buy it? 10 grand, 20 grand, 50 grand? It's not a lot of money. I don't have a problem with that part, but I want them to earn it. Everything for me is with them busting their asses.
Totally agree with that as well. It's really hard as a parent to try and find the balance. One of the best sayings I heard recently, it's only hard being a parent if you're a good parent. So I have to actually fight with my kids about what they can do, what they can eat, how long they can stay up, how they spend their day, how much tech time, how much screen time, but just instilling those values of having to earn to get things, and when you get things, having to choose something that is actually more valuable to you. That's great advice, and I love this podcast. You should follow it.
3 of the worst businesses you can start today from a millionaire businessman. First, a clothing brand. The world really doesn't need any more of these. Second, an independent restaurant.
If you go and look at businesses for sale on any website in Australia, 90% of it, cafe and restaurants. If you've lived in a neighbourhood for a long period of time, I'm sure you've got a cafe locally that's probably changed owners or names a dozen times. The only one that hasn't is probably the Starbucks and the likes because they're reputable. It's a really tough space to be in. Are more people ordering Uber Eats today than they did last year? So what are they going to continue to do? It's where it's going.
Third, day trading. Most people that teach this are scammers, so stay away.
Even professional day traders fail more than they win. So I would not try and be a trader. It's just a very, very complicated space and you will probably lose in the long term. Stop being impatient. Focus on the long term. Put it into what you know and what will be safe and let the compounding interest do its work. In saying that, I do not trust the dollar anymore and I will be protecting my money in Bitcoin.
Question for you. Have you ever been broke before?
Yeah.
And what line of business are you in?
I'm an angel investor.
What was the most amount of money that you've made in a single year?
Over $100 million.
Over $100 million.
Yeah.
What took you from making 8 to 9 figures in your business?
Here's where people get wrong. Most people, when they start, they're trying to make money and they focus on building systems, which is cool. Millionaires build systems, but billionaires build people. So if anything, my job is talent development.
Talent's the end game in business.
It's everything, man. You build the people build the business.
Did you go to college?
No, self-taught.
Self-taught.
Yeah, self-taught.
Do you come from a lot of money?
No.
This is Dan Martell. You guys probably know that. And if you don't, you should follow him because he's really good. But he self-taught, gets the business running through systems, process. And what he points out there is people. You have to buy talent who can do what you can't do so that your time is well spent in the areas where you can add value. I think that's a massively important aspect.
You didn't go to college, but you made more than 99.9% of business professors ever will. Give them a real quick, a 30-second, a 60-second business masterclass that's not taught in school. A quick 30-second, 60-second business masterclass.
Okay, cool. This is the biggest thing. Most people that suck at business only start when they think they got a winning recipe. Real entrepreneurs start knowing they're wrong. And what they do is they rush out into the world to try to validate their riskiest assumptions as fast as possible to then know what's broken and then fix it.
100% agree with that. Said it before, you need to take action to get confidence, not wait for confidence to get action. That's a little difference between entrepreneurs and right. They don't have to wait for things to be right. They don't have to wait to understand it. And to Dan's point, they kind of think that they're wrong. So they're actually trying to prove that point. And as they go through the process, go, hang on a second, this actually might work. Let's go, let's test, let's move forward. Because that revolving door, if you really fuck it up and you get it wrong, you can usually take a step back. So my advice, and I'm sure it's Dan's advice, is just move forward. Take the steps, get the progress, the other stuff will happen along the way.
So that's why most business professors are broke, because they have a mindset that like, oh, most businesses fail. Yeah, guess what? That mentality is going to cause you to fail. That is business in a nutshell.
For anyone thinking about it, follow the right people and just make the moves. Take the step, progress forward. You'll figure it out on the way, and none of those small mistakes are going to kill you in the process. I love doing those episodes, guys. I hope you do too. Maybe you've come across a video that you'd like to see in the reactions. We'd be happy to do it. Throw the link, send some comments, whatever it is. Give us your feedback. We can't get enough of it. Catch you later. If you've enjoyed this episode, then subscribe on YouTube or follow our podcast on your favorite platform. We drop a new episode every week. You'll be doing us a massive favor. If you know someone that would benefit from listening to this, then share it with them. You'll be doing them a massive favor. And if you want the tips, tools, and resources to support you on this journey, then join our exclusive Facebook community and follow our socials. You'll be doing yourself a massive favor.